The Senate will come to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Senators Baisley, Bridges, Buckner, Coleman, Cutter, Danielson, Exum, Fields, Senator Fields,
Senator Fields.
Senator Fields. Thank you. Gardner. Senator Gardner. Janal. Gonzalez. Senator Gonzalez. Hanson. Henriksen. Hawkes Lewis. Kirkmeyer. Kolker. Liston. Lundin. Lundin. Senator Lundin. Thank you, sir. Marchman. Michelson Janae. Malika. Pelton B. Pelton R. Priola. Rich. Roberts. Rodriguez. Simpson. Smallwood. Sullivan. Van Winkle. Will. Winter. Zenzinger. Senator Zenzinger. Mr. President.
Here. Morning roll call is 35 present, 0 absent, 0 excused. We do have a quorum. Senator Buckner, would you please lead us in the pledge?
Good morning, everyone. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval of the journal. Senator Liston.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senators, something in my limericks is lacking. Am I being too nice by not attacking? I'm sad, I'm sorry, I'm shaken. Maybe everyone is mistaken. So what the heck? I'll just start packing. I know that one wasn't very good. Yeah. All right, you can try and write them next time. So with that, Mr. President, I move that the Senate Journal of February 21st, 2024 be approved as corrected by the Secretary, and somebody else can start writing my limericks besides me.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no? I think the ayes barely have it. That motion is adopted. Senate Services.
February 22nd, 2024, correctly printed Senate Bills 163 and 164, correctly engrossed Senate Bills 23, 24, 25, 89, 93, and 138, correctly re-engrossed Senate Bills 66, 103, and 128, correctly enrolled Senate Bill 29.
Committee reports.
February 21st, 2024, Committee on Education. After consideration on the merits, the committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 143 be amended as follows, and as so amended, be referred to the Committee on Appropriations with favorable recommendation. Senate Bill 113 be amended as follows, and as so amended, be referred to the Committee on Appropriations with favorable recommendation. The Committee on Education has had under consideration and has had a hearing on the following appointments and recommends that the appointments be confirmed. Member of the Colorado Educational and Cultural Facilities Authority Board of Directors for a term expiring June 30, 2027. Indira Dugarala of Highlands Ranch, Colorado, appointed. Members of the Board of Trustees, the Committee on Education has under consideration and has a hearing on the following appointments and recommends that the appointments be placed on the consent calendar and confirmed. Members of the Board of Trustees for the University of Northern Colorado, effective January 1, 2024, for terms expiring December 31, 2027. Maya A. Babs of Golden, Colorado, reappointed. Shashwata Pratik Dutta of Denver, Colorado, reappointed. The Committee on Transportation and Energy has had under consideration and has had a hearing on the following appointments and recommends that the appointments be placed on the consent calendar and confirmed. Members of the Energy Impact Assistance Advisory Committee for terms expiring August 24, 2027. Joseph Redmond of Hayden, Colorado, reappointed. Tricia Stiles of Aurora, Colorado, reappointed. Committee on Judiciary, after consideration of the merits, the committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 35 be amended as follows, and is so amended be referred to the Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation.
Members, we have many guests with us here on the floor this morning, as you can see. But let's give an especially warm welcome back to the Senate chamber, Senator Gil Schwartz. Introduction of memorials.
Senate Memorial 1 by Senator Roberts, memorializing former Senator Hugh C. Fowler.
Majority Leader Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that Senate Memorial 001 lay over until Tuesday, February 27th, 2024.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no? The ayes have it, and Senate Memorial 1 will lay over until February 27th. Senator Liston.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I would ask for a moment of personal privilege.
Granted.
Very good. Members, we have some special guests here from El Paso County. I would like to recognize the Sunrise Republican women who have come up here. They come up on an annual basis. These are fine ladies in the heart and soul of our party in El Paso County. Would you give a warm welcome to the Sunrise Republican women? Thank you, Mr. President.
Mr. Minority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. I request a moment of personal privilege.
Granted.
Thank you, Mr. President. For the edification of the body, I will try to do a better job of communicating with the Majority Leader when we are taking moments and actions out of order, Mr. President. I just wanted to let you and the body know that we will seek to manage that better going forward. Thank you, Mr. President.
The Minority Leader and Senator Liston will be fined $1 each for not making a motion to proceed out of order. Perhaps your guest here can help you pay off your debts. Introduction of bills.
Senate Bill 166 by Senator Winter and Representative Froelich and Velasco concerning measures to increase the enforcement of violations that impact the environment.
Transportation and Energy.
Senate Bill 165 by Senators Priola and Cutter and Representatives Rutinel and Garcia concerning measures to reduce emissions of air pollutants that negatively impact air quality.
Transportation and Energy. Third reading of bills. Consent calendar. Members,
Third reading.
we are on thirds now. Third reading of bills consent calendar. Will the clerk please read the titles of all of the bills on the consent calendar?
Senate Bill 89 by Senator Rodriguez and Representative Darty concerning the Colorado Firefighter Heart Cancer and Behavioral Health Benefits Trust. Senate Bill 138 by Senator Simpson and Representative Martinez concerning the modification of the salary categorization of locally elected officers in specified counties.
Majority Leader Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for the passage of all the bills on third reading of bills consent calendar, which includes Senate Bill 89 and 138.
Is there any discussion on any of the bills? Seeing none, the motion is the passage of all of the bills on the third reading of bills consent calendar. Are there any no votes? With a vote of 35 ayes, 0 no, 0 absent, 0 excused, Senate Bill 89 is passed. Co-sponsors. Senators Bridges, Exum, Marchman, Kolker, Kirkmeyer, Mullica, Roberts, Hanson, Priola, Fields, Winter, Henriksen, Buckner, Michelson Janae, Cutter, Jaquez Lewis, Sullivan, Gonzalez, Coleman, Janal, please add the president. With a vote of 35 ayes, 0 no, 0 absent, 0 excused, Senate Bill 138 is passed. Co-sponsors. Senators Winter, Will, Pelton R., third reading of bills. Final passage. Will the clerk please read the title to Senate Bill 93?
Senate Bill 93 by Senator Michelson Janae and Representative Amabile concerning the continuity of health care benefits during the transition to a new health benefit plan when the enrollee's health care provider does not have a contract with a new health insurance carrier.
Senator Michelson Janae.
Thank you, Mr. President. I request permission for a third reading amendment.
Senator, we are not in the House. We have rules here,
Rules.
and the rule is you have to move your bill before you ask for permission.
I move Senate Bill 93 and ask permission for a third reading amendment.
Well, now that's a proper motion. Senator, do you have an explanation for the need
I
for a
have,
third
I
reading
have
amendment?
explanation for myself. We allowed authorizations for the carriers to accept pre-authorization, but we didn't require the carrier to accept pre-authorization, and this is a conforming amendment.
The question before the body is Senator Michelson Janae's request for permission to offer a third reading amendment. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no? I think the ayes have it. Permission is granted.
Thank you. I
There-
move Amendment L007.
One moment, Senator
What?
Michelson Janae. There is an amendment on the desk. Will the clerk please read L007?
L007, amendment.
Senator
House Bill-
Michelson Janae.
I move Amendment L007 to Senate Bill 93.
To the amendment.
As I said before, we are requiring the carrier to accept pre-authorization. Was just left out, and it is a conforming amendment, and I ask for your aye vote.
Is there any discussion? Seeing none, the motion is for the adoption of amendment L007. Are there any no votes? Senators Van Winkle, Baisley. With a vote of 33 ayes, 2 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, the amendment is adopted. To the bill.
In this bill, we created a pathway for people who are getting disenrolled from Medicaid to be able to stay with their providers and their facilities for 90 days as covered by their insurance plans.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of Senate Bill 93. Are there any no votes? Senators Baisley, with a vote of 34 ayes, 1 no, 0 absent, 0 excused, Senate Bill 93 is passed. Co-sponsors. Senators Smallwood, Roberts, Hansen, Malika, Exum, Kirkmeyer, Will, Minority Leader Lundin, Bridges, Gardner, Janal, Winter, Gonzalez, Marchman, Hinrichsen, Sullivan, Jaquez Lewis, Cutter, Priola,
No.
Colker,
Suffered through a long summer.
Buckner,
This was,
Zenzinger,
this was done to me.
Coleman,
Yes. It didn't ask to be on. And it doesn't apply to service on committees. Can we expand it?
please have the president. Will the clerk please read the title to Senate Bill 25?
Senate Bill 25 by Senators Bridges and Van Winkle and Representatives Kipp and Taggart concerning local government sales and use taxes administered by the Department of Revenue and in connection therewith revising, modernizing, and harmonizing various state statutes relating to the state administration of local sales and use tax into one uniform statute.
Senator Van Winkle.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move Senate Bill 25 on third reading and final passage.
Is there any discussion? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of Senate Bill 25. Are there any no votes? With a vote of 35 ayes, 0 no, 0 absent, 0 excused, Senate Bill 25 is passed. Co-sponsors. Senator Zenzinger, Priola, will the clerk please read the title to Senate Bill 24?
Senate Bill 24 by Senators Bridges and Van Winkle and Representatives Kipp and Taggart concerning the standardization of local lodging tax and in connection therewith, aligning reporting requirements related to the remittance of a local lodging tax to reporting requirements for remittance of other local taxes.
Senator Bridges.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move Senate Bill 24 on third reading and final passage.
Is there any discussion? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of Senate Bill 24. Are there any no votes?
You can do that?
I did. I was told no.
How do I get off judiciary?
Senators Hansen, with a vote of 34 ayes, 1 no, 0 absent, 0 excused, Senate Bill 24 is passed. Co-sponsors. Senators Priola,
Thank you.
this is co-sponsors for Senate Bill 24. Liston. Will the clerk please read the title to Senate Bill 23?
Senate Bill 23 by Senators Van Winkle and Bridges and Representatives Kipp and Taggart concerning the requirement that local taxing jurisdictions hold harmless vendors that rely on erroneous data in certain electronic systems related to the sales and use tax that are managed by the Department of Revenue.
Senator Van Winkle.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move Senate Bill 23 on third reading and final passage.
Is there any discussion? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of Senate Bill 23. Are there any no votes? With a vote of 35 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, Senate Bill 23 is passed. Co-sponsors. Senators Priola, Minority Leader Lundin, Baisley, Will, Kirkmeyer, Gardner, Smallwood,
Strange people.
General orders. Second reading of bills, consent calendar. Senator Bridges.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the Senate resolve itself in the Committee of the Whole for the consideration of General Orders, second reading of bills, consent calendar.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The motion is adopted. The Senate will resolve itself in the Committee of the Whole for the consideration of the general order, second reading of bills, consent calendar, and Senator Bridges will take the chair.
The Senate will come to order, and the coat rule is relaxed. Will the clerk please read the titles of all of the bills on the second reading of bills consent calendar?
House Bill 1042 by Representatives Snyder and Taggart and Senators Colker and Van Winkle concerning technical corrections to the statutes that govern fire and police pensions. House Bill 1016 by Representatives Leader and Armagost and Senators Colker and Van Winkle concerning emergency communication services and in connection therewith defining the term emergency communication specialist and clarifying the scope of the currently authorized use of certain emergency telecommunication service charges revenue for training and services rendered by an emergency communication specialist, other public safety answering point personnel, and other essential emergency personnel.
Majority Leader Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move for the adoption of all the bills on the consent calendar, which includes House Bill 1042 and House Bill 1016.
Is there any discussion of any of the bills on the consent calendar? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of all of the bills on the consent calendar. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Ayes have it. Those bills are adopted. Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move the committee rise and report.
Motion is for the committee to rise and report. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Aye has it, and we will rise and report.
The Senate will come to order. Senator Bridges.
Thank you, Mr. President. The committee has met and had a number of bills under consideration. Will the clerk please read the report?
February 22nd, 2024, Mr. President, your Committee of the Whole begs leave to report it has had under consideration the following attached bills, being the second reading thereof, and makes the following recommendations thereon. House Bills 1042 and 1016 passed on second reading and ordered revised and placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage.
Senator Bridges.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the report.
The motion is the adoption of the Committee of the Whole report. Are there any no votes? With a vote of 35 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, Committee of the Whole report is adopted. House Bill 1042, House Bill 1016 passed on second reading and ordered revised and placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage. Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I will request under second reading of bills to have SCR 001 lay over until Friday, February 23rd.
The motion is to lay over SCR 001 until Friday, February 23rd. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it, and SCR1 will lay over until Friday. That's tomorrow. General order, second reading of bills. Senator Bridges.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the Senate resolve itself for the Committee of the Whole for consideration of General Order's second reading of bills.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The motion is adopted. The Senate will resolve itself in the Committee of the Whole for the consideration of the General Order's second reading of bills, and Senator Bridges will take the chair.
The committee will come to order, and it's only one bill, so no relaxing the coat rule. Will the clerk please read the title to House Bill 1091?
House Bill 1091 by Representatives Brown and Titonen, Senators Cutter and Hagas Lewis, concerning prohibiting restrictions on the use of fire-hardened building materials in residential real property.
Senator Cutter.
I move House Bill 24-1091.
Is there any discussion? Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of House Bill 1091. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Ayes have it, that bill is adopted.
Really a great bill.
That is the extent of the second reading of bills calendar. Yes, Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move the committee rise and report.
The motion is for the committee to rise up and report. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. And yet the aye still has it. The committee will rise and report.
The Senate will come to order. Senator Bridges.
Thank you, Mr. President. The committee has met and had a bill under consideration. Will the clerk please read the report?
February 22nd, 2024. Mr. President, your Committee of the Whole begs leave to report it has had under consideration the following attached bills, being the second reading thereof, and makes the following recommendations thereon. House Bill 1091, passed on second reading and ordered revised and placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage. SCR 1, laid over until February 23rd, and retaining its place on the calendar.
Senator Bridges.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the report.
The motion is the adoption of the Committee of the Whole report. Are there any no votes? With a vote of 35 ayes, 0 no, 0 absent, 0 excused, Committee of the Whole report is adopted. House Bill 1091 passed on second reading and order revised and placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage. SCR 1 laid over until February 23rd and retaining its place on the calendar. Consideration of governor's appointments, consent calendar. Will the clerk please read all of the appointments listed on the calendar?
Member of the Board of Trustees of the Colorado School of Mines, effective January 1, 2024, for a term expiring December 31, 2027. Michael Kors of Evergreen, Colorado, to serve as an alumnus of the school appointed. Member of the Fire and Police Pension Association Board of Directors for a term expiring September 1, 2027. William Clayton of Littleton, Colorado, to serve as a representative of special districts appointed. Member of the Natural Medicine Advisory Board for a term expiring January 31, 2027. Stacy Lukes of Denver, Colorado, to serve as a representative of permitted organization criteria occasioned by the resignation of Katina Banks, J.D. of Denver, Colorado, appointed. Member of the Colorado Limited Gaming Control Commission for term expiring July 1, 2027, John Tipton, J.D. of Aurora, Colorado, to serve as a member of the 6th Congressional District and as attorney with experience in regulatory law appointed. Member of the Securities Board for terms expiring July 1, 2026, Elizabeth Karpinski-Vaughn of Lakewood, Colorado, to serve as an individual who is licensed by the State Supreme Court to practice law in the state of Colorado and who is conversant in securities law, reappointed. Gary DeWall of Estes Park, Colorado, to serve as a member of the public at large, appointed.
Majority Leader Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for all the appointments, or the confirmation of all the appointments listed on the consent calendar. Michael Kors of Evergreen, on the member of the Board of Trustees for the Colorado School of Mines. William Clayton of Littleton, Fire and Police Pension Association Board of Directors. Stacy Lokes of Denver, Natural Medicine Advisory Board. John Tipton of Aurora, Colorado Limited Gaming Control Commission. And Elizabeth Karpinski-Vaughn of Lakewood and Gary DeWall for the members of the Security Board.
Is there any discussion? The motion is the confirmation of all of the appointments on the consent calendar. Are there any no votes? With 35 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, the appointments are confirmed. Announcements. Now, Senator Buckner. Senator Bridges.
Thank you, Mr. President. Having spoken to the majority and minority leaders, I request to be marked excused tomorrow.
Senator Bridges will be marked as absent tomorrow. Isn't that what you asked for? You asked for.
Excused.
Okay. All right. Sorry. Senator Bridges will be marked as absent tomorrow.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator Buckner.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have some special guests in the Capitol today. It's Credit Union Day, and I think many of you have seen members of different various credit unions out in the area. And I would like to introduce those who are here with us in the Senate today. I would like for them to stand. They're with Canvas and Space Age Credit Unions. And I would like to say that credit unions are so important. They bring $4.1 billion total impact for Colorado communities, and that's huge. They bring 6,300 jobs. 19,500 jobs are supported. They make a big difference in Colorado, so thank you for being here with us today. And have all of you seen these amazing mugs on your desk? Those are from the credit union, and also a really nice journal as well. So please recognize those who are here from the credit unions today, and thank you for everything you do for our community.
Senator Coleman.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, Senate State Veteran Military Affairs Committee will be meeting at 1:30 in the old Supreme Court room. We'll be hearing bills in this order: Senate Bill 160, Workplace Discrimination Records; House Bill 1093, Senate Bill 109, Senate Bill 135, and then Senate Bill 60. That is a little bit of a different order than what is on the calendar. Thank you.
Senator Exum.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senate Local Government Housing, we do not have any bills upon adjournment, so enjoy your time, and we will be kicking it off next week. Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator Roberts. Senator Will.
Thank you, Mr. President. So, Habitat for Humanity's moment of personal privilege here today. But staff and volunteers from Habitat for Humanity are at the Capitol today advocating for affordable home ownership. There are 25 Habitat for Humanity affiliates building for sale affordable housing in 45 of our communities across the state. And I know they're very active over in Senator Roberts in my district. Today we have with us Habitat representatives who are working in the counties across Colorado, including Weld, Mesa, Grand, Eagle, El Paso, Garfield, Pitkin, Larimer, Boulder, Jefferson, Clear Creek, Park, Summit, Grand, Arapahoe, and Denver counties. Hopefully you had a cup of coffee with them this morning. It was a really good deal downstairs there, and have a chance to speak with them later today.
Senator Roberts.
Thank you, Mr. President. May I ask for a moment of personal privilege?
Granted.
Thank you. Colleagues, I'm here to join the good senator from Newcastle to welcome Habitat for Humanity to the Capitol for their day here at the legislature. Habitat are the incredible people in many of our communities that are building homes for people for home ownership opportunities. And this is so important. We do a lot of bills about affordable housing, have conversations about affordable housing. These are the ones in our communities making a difference for families and individuals across the state. We have some represented, there were many more here today, and the senator from Woodland Park is keeping one of them captivated during this announcement, but we have Habitat Summit County here. I want to welcome them. Also from my district, Vail Valley, Grand County, Clear Creek, but you heard the many chapters across the state. Thank you for everything you do for affordable housing in our communities. We're proud to welcome you to the state capitol.
Thank you.
You didn't hear a word of it.
Senator Hawkins Lewis.
Thank you, Mr. President. I request a moment of personal privilege, please.
Granted.
Thank you. I just want to recognize every year the pharmacy school at CU does a pharmacy student shadow program, and I'm very honored to have with us today Aubrey Holdridge. And Aubrey, you can stand up. There you go. She is a P4, so she still has one more year to go, I believe. So just wanted to recognize pharmacists are crucial community health caregivers, and we have one of our future leaders here today, so thank you.
Senator Fields.
Good morning, Mr. President, colleagues. I have spoken to the majority leader and the minority leader and the president and have requested to be excused tomorrow.
Senator Fields will be marked as excused tomorrow. Senator Kolker.
Personal privilege or just announcement? As an announcement. For committee. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. President. I just wanted to announce Senate Finance will be meeting 15 minutes after adjournment in SCR 357. We have 3 bills on the docket.
Senator Roberts.
Thank you, Mr. President. Agriculture and Natural Resources Committee, we're meeting this afternoon at 1:30 and 3:52. We have a number of appointments, and then we will hear House Bill 1032, followed by Senate Bill 126.
Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the Senate adjourn until 9 a.m. Friday, February 23rd, 2024.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the Senate will adjourn until 9 a.m. tomorrow, February 23rd.